Welcome back, everybody. This is possibly the last match we have today. We're not quite sure how this is going to go, but the score currently is 4-2 in the favor of Mouseports. All Heromarine has to do is beat back Welmu one last time, and he locks out the series and is a victory for Mouseports. Spawned here in the top left corner of the map, the man in question, or I should say the boy, because he's quite young. He's a badass regardless, the Red Terran Heromarine.
In the bottom right, as the Blue Protoss, their last hope, it is Welmu.
So to explain real quick why we see Welmu again, for those unfamiliar with the rules of the Acer Team Story Cup, in this best of 9 clan war, when you're on your last life, when it comes down to your 4th loss, you can bring back one player that's already played. You don't have to, you can play somebody completely new, but you're given the option to bring back somebody who's already fallen. Now, Welmu's a really intelligent choice for 2 reasons. One, I think Welmu's TVP is pretty darn good right now, but also more importantly than that, he's just, like, he's the player you know best from NewRoSoft. He's got to be like the flagship, so to speak, and I really wish him the best of luck here versus Heromarine, but at the same time, Heromarine, his TVP is not too shabby. I wouldn't call it God mode like, say, Jokshi's or Hearts, but it's pretty darn good.
I was expecting either Welmu or actually Cross again, because he didn't get like smashed that last game, right? It was actually pretty even until that last minute, I would
Cross
say.
may not have been a bad choice, but I mean, again, you got to kind of consider Heromarine took a lot of really bad engagements and still won, right? So that has to be taken into consideration, where Cross is probably like, I don't really want to go again. I don't think I can do it.
Well, either way, they made a choice. It's probably going to be a good one. This gas is not mining. Is that on purpose?
For
Welmu. It was just one of them wasn't mining at all. It was very specific, and now it's only one.
Well, it's 2 and 2 is kind of that magic number. Actually,
Yeah,
this is the gas opening we haven't seen in a while, because on Ultra Zoom it's almost always one simulator, so that you can take that quicker Nexus.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was only at 0, and then he was rallying in the probes. It had nothing in it for a while. But yeah, you're right. Usually it is only one, and then they get that faster Nexus. But he's just, you know, Nexus after Cybernex core.
I'm sorry. I know this is the child in me, but I thought you just said butt tease. I was like, ooh, my.
What? Why you just make it weird, man?
Just shake what your mama gave you. Alright, well, the Reaper's going to miss Scout, sadly, but they will process of elimination to kind of figure out where his opponent is. But this Reaper, it's not like versus Zerg, guys. This isn't meant to kill queens or even really probes or anything like that. The idea is you want to scout. And what's nice about Ultra Zim, there's a lot of ways to get into the base. So the Mothership Core is going to sit on the ramp, sure, but it's not going to be able to stop the Reaper outright.
Yeah. What sucks about Ultrazine is that if you do put your tech in your natural, the Reaper's not getting back there. At least it shouldn't. It's kind of hard to get back there. But usually that doesn't happen. All their pylons are in the main, and hopefully Heromarine can see anything that he's doing. Now, didn't Heromarine was the one that beat Welmu. Oh no, that was the other Protoss that was played. Haswabs, there we go.
Yeah, Haswabs.
Haswabs beat.
Wait, no, we didn't have a PvP, did we?
No, Haswabs was beaten by Cross, so I was mixing up the T's and the P's.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, wait a minute, like, I know sometimes I'm out of it with the short-term memory, but while this is going on, by the way, I think it's a resub, maybe it's a new sub. Draxonar, your name's familiar, so maybe you've just hung out and chat enough and I recognize it. Either way, welcome or welcome back. Thanks for the sub, man. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, the Acer Team Story Cup's really cool, guys. Again, one of the nice things is we can send out the replays from this, and we'll bundle these up for all you subs ASAP. The replays from all the other recent events we've been doing, we've been casting like crazy lately. We've sent all those out too, so if anyone's missing any, like if you sub today and you missed a couple of the past replay packs, send me a PM on Twitch. Don't be shy, and go ahead and request that. But that of course applies to subs only. Anyways, Heromarine hasn't really been able to get a lot of scouting done, sadly. He got that one really nice start scout off, but I mean, this is the timing where you need to check. The Robo's coming down, granted, but it's the 6-minute, the 7-minute mark where you gotta confirm whether it's Twilight or Stargate or what the deal is.
Yeah. You should be just suiciding in a couple of seconds, honestly. You don't need that Reaper. You don't need to keep it alive. It's literally just to try and get scouting.
Yeah.
It's not going to help you, like, with that extra, I don't know how much DPS it has.
Right, like, yeah, like what damage does a Reaper really bring to the party? Maybe back at Wings of Liberty when it hit versus light like a truck, but no, not anymore. I do still wish, by the way, they would have kept the damage versus buildings on the Reapers. I thought that was always a cool thing.
God, no. Everyone would open up 2 Rex Reaper.
Right? I'm just saying, like, as a Terran player myself,
I see. I see.
And as I didn't lose first blood this game, guys, sorry, because it was at the same time the sub hit, and I had to go look for that, so my bad. But as we continue forward with the game, we do see Heromarine preparing for oracles. And this is, again, it's not like it detracts from what you're doing. You want to have Marines out in the field anyways at some point. You just keep them positioned in such a way that you guarantee that if an oracle was coming, it wouldn't wreck your face. Now, there is no oracle. It's a robo. But the problem is with the Reaper being denied so hardcore, he doesn't know this.
Yeah. And it has been denied pretty hardcore. I mean, try to go up the ramp, met 2 stalkers and a sentry. It's going to get to the natural, surprising, but that is not where the tech is. The tech is in the main. He's going to be able to scout, I believe, at least the forges. He did see the double forge.
Let's confirm that, yeah. Okay, so said about the forges come down, sadly, just shy of that robo, but yeah, when you scout a lack of information, sometimes that's all the information you need. So, you know, he didn't see a Stargate, he didn't see a Twilight Council, but he... on his first pass, wait, did he see the robo on his first pass? No, but he's gonna see the observer in his base if he's really looking for it. So he'll probably have a good idea. Yeah, he sees this.
He found it. So
oh,
you know, it could have been a Twilight. Well, I'm pretty sure he sees. He just doesn't want to.
He doesn't have energy for scan. Now he does.
Yeah, there you go. So you know, it could have been a Twilight Council. They could have been going into like double upgrade, like Charge in a High Templar or something like that. But you know, with an observer, it's definitely going to be the robo, and it's probably going to be for the Colossus. He's actually looking to go up to maybe High Templars very, very quickly.
This is, well, the High Templar are an interesting thing. I don't think you really need to chrono them out or anything like that. I mean, the thing is, it's probably going to be more for Blink, I would imagine, to protect the Colossus.
It's for the upgrades, because the 4-1's going to finish so fast. He's going to need at least the Twilight Council for the 2-2. He could go, like, fast into the Blink, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense to go for, like, if you're going to go tech-wise, because you don't need charge with the Colossus out. You don't need to get a DT Shrine or... I mean, you've already got the AoE for the Colossus Beam, is my point, so you don't need Storms as early. You'll want them eventually, but not as early.
It was a thing to go for just like 1 or 2 Colossus and then very fast and High Templars, specifically so the SCV pool wouldn't come, because SCV pools aren't effective against...
oh, did you pick up?
Against Storms? I guess you picked up another Observer.
Yeah. Man, Heromarine, eyes like a hawk.
Yeah. But it is just going to be for Blink. He's going to have a very good, you know, Blink Stalker, Colossus, very good against Bio, Viking, and, you know, get that High Templar Storm later on.
Well, the thing about the Blink as well is it's meant to really start picking off the Vikings. To get it early is not bad, but you're never going to see Vikings come out fast. It's always like, what, 4 medevacs, then Vikings? Sometimes 2 if players are being really risky, but... I mean, yeah, you don't really see straight-up Vikings. So there are 4 medevacs in play. Unfortunately, these ones will be deterred from the drop. And we'll probably see that Viking production start up here. Yeah, there we go. Still hasn't seen or confirmed this, guys, but it's, again, one of those things where you know it's coming. There we go. Now confirms the Colossus are out with the death of that Marine. Yeah. Wow, that corpse, like... Wow! That corpse went, like, through overkill. I don't know if you saw, he was, like, flailing around on all 4s like a turtle put on its back. I love the ragdoll effect in this game.
Okay, then.
It's the small things that make life so great. But no, with what he has right now, there's no way for him to really engage the Colossus. Granted, there's no extended thermal lance. Oh, there is already extended thermal lance. Wow, I was gonna say I thought he was gonna talk about how he was delaying it, but with extended thermal lance especially, there's no way to get on top of these Colossus with the meager force that he has here.
Yeah. Now, if this wasn't cross position, I would actually suggest even a SCV pool. We saw it work very, very well for cross, even though he waited for the ghosts. But it's such a long rush distance. Like, I don't know if you want to go for that.
The high ground, a lot of people forget too that, not high ground, but the vision cut off in the grass is pretty annoying to deal with as well. 2 Colossus can just sit behind that pretty comfortably, and Marauders won't be able to push in. I mean, Marauders and Vikings, guys, don't get me wrong, they can tear down a Colossus if given the opportunity. Like if it's 1 Colossus in the middle of the map, but when there's 3 guarded by combination guarding shields and force fields, not to mention Zealots and Stalkers, there's not an easy way to engage this.
No. Again, picks off an Observer, goes for a big Doom drop, even bringing the Vikings, I suppose, to snipe maybe the Militia Corps if we can get the second cannon off, or those Colossus that always seem to just go the wrong way when you're defending your own base.
Stalkers are trying to focus on the medevac. I like that move. But this is compromised, and he's going to focus on the Nexus, hoping to pick this up before the Colossus get here.
Yeah, see the Vikings? These Colossus are so derpy, they just run right into the Vikings.
Oh my god, he's actually going to stay on top of this. I was going to say he needs to evacuate the base, but there we go, now it decides to go for it afterwards.
Almost 1 medevac, Jesus, like 1 health or something.
Dude, that's 7 HP, might as well be 1 HP. That was a good base snipe, though, out of Heromarine. I don't like that he died for the Colossus afterwards, though. That was I felt a very greedy move.
Yeah, that was way too risky. You know, if it was just them, sure. But the Blink Stalkers are already there. He's gonna be a little careful now about the retreat. Like, he's in a position where he has to lift up to retreat, and that medevac is still super, super low. The Viking
God,
does
the
go down.
Vikings.
Prefer the Viking over that one medevac.
Of course, of course. Level 3 weapon upgrades are on the way here for Heromarine. Once again, kind of slacking off in the armor, but if we're going to be quite frank, guys, if you got to pick between the two, armor is not anywhere as good as weapons are when you're fighting against Protoss. And
At least
this is, I don't know, there's not a huge amount of Colossus. I mean, he did pick off the one thanks to those two Vikings that he tried to stim on, but there's still enough that this army can't really come in blindly. Let's not forget, force fields will really funnel these into a choke, and that's where the Colossus are going to reign supreme. But Blink Stalkers do blink forward into the Vikings. Unfortunately, that also blinks them into the Marauder fire.
he's doing well so far. The hiccups in the Vikings, unfortunately, don't let them get their shots off. But he's pushing forward. He sees an opportunity here. Welmu's taking a long time to go ahead and get up to High Templars.
Welmu's also warping in a lot of Zealots right now. No more Stalkers really coming in. So picking off these Vikings is not going to be too easy. 4 at a time being produced off of 3 bases. Heromarine, I kind of feel like his best bet, like he's sitting at that 150 mark. Like this is kind of the perfect engagement, I guess, timing for a Terran player supply-wise. Because once it gets to that 200 mark for a Protoss player, it becomes infinitely harder to break.
Yeah. I'm really worried about Welmu's lack of a secondary, splash, those High Templars. Heromarine already accounted for, 15 minutes is a really good time to start thinking, preferably just going ahead and having the Ghost Academy down, because you know that they're going to have High Templars around the time. So he's going to have Ghosts, which they're not going to be for High Templars because they're not out yet, but they're still going to be really, really good. They're going to be EMPs on top of Force Field, so suddenly the Marauders can reach the Colossus potentially, and of course they're good against Charge Lots. Those Charge Lots will, just go away. They will disappear. One thing he's missing, honestly, is Widow Mines. Widow Mines against this composition would be pretty great.
Yeah, we've had this debate in the past too about how a lot of Korean Terrans complain about how good they are, but then we don't see them utilized anywhere. One key thing though for Welmu though to talk about his strengths is while he's got a big buffer of this army, he's not getting stuck on this. He's got Storm Tech coming up behind it. It'll be a little while off still, but as we see, Zealots with Charge combined with the Colossus can really push this back. As long as Welmu doesn't overextend with Zealots and he stays within the range of the Colossus, he'll win this fight. Yeah. Although still the Stalker count very low, very scary that the Vikings dive on top of this. That's a really good EMP. He should be able to finish off the Colossus, which means the Marines will have no problem dealing with what's left of the Gateway forces. Granted, there's still a hell of a lot of Zealots here.
This is man, Widow Mines, I swear, man. Zealots would never, ever engage. Now, Welmu has a little bit of time to try and get something else out. He's trying to get Archons. I don't believe he has Storm. No, he does not have Storm. He has upgrades that are pretty darn good.
But the thing is, even the Archons are going to be fairly susceptible to the EMPs.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to Ghost left. He's not even making them right now.
He's got one.
You're right.
He's got one.
Okay, so one has to do a lot.
Yeah. But no blanket coming down just yet. Still just kiting away because he can. Even the Vikings are doing a great job of stoking these hits, even though they can't be repaired. I think he's recognized that there's no more Colossus coming. He doesn't need them anymore. So we see 3 medevacs coming out at a time.
Well, hard to say. If you give him this much time, they very well could have been double producing Colossus. You don't really know. So he is a little hesitant to just go ahead and give away those Vikings. As we know it, Welmu is struggling to get something above, tier 2 right now.
Okay, well, fuck that one Stalker in particular. I don't know why he shot it, but okay.
That's actually a Doom Drop not going to the 4th as I thought it was, but rather again to the natural. And that army is completely out of position, but so Heromarine needs to pay attention. He needs to run away. That is a big enough army that a counterattack could be devastating.
Right, and this is a problem a lot of Terran players come into where you force a base trade, and sometimes you're not ready to defend it because you put so much on the line on the other side of the field. He'll get this Nexus and continue simming forward, but I mean, right now, Welmu's forces charging across the map are coming against an army that is mostly Vikings and no medevacs.
It is mostly Vikings. He needs to get a good position, whether it's behind mineral patches, up on a ramp with SCVs on hold position. Something like that could definitely help him win this game. If he lets Welmu up that ramp, though, biggest mistake ever.
There's a lot of EMPs here, so don't get us wrong, guys. Welmu's got a chance, or rather, Heromarines got a chance to hold this, but it's not going to be easy.
Oh, I thought the command center was going to run over.
The probes have been pulled. Welmu's going for it. All in, baby. Yeah, it lifts the Vikings. Why? He was a real Colossus. Yeah, the hallucination spooked him. EMPs do go down on just about everything. But the forces are almost playing against Welmu, keeping his own Zealots at bay.
Yeah, I mean, they already going up a ramp like that was risky enough. You're going to lose a lot of Zealots, but those force fields also helped out Heromarine in a big way. Every single, Blink Stalker is not enough. One Archon, not enough. These probes, definitely not.
All right, well played out of Heromarine. He closes out the series now 5-2 in the end, in the favor of Mousesports, guys.